Today you're going to pretend to be my first grade class, and I'm going to use the book Chrysanthemum to show you another way that you could teach some vocabulary. Now, how many of you have read the book Chrysanthemum before? This is a pretty traditional book, and it has some great vocabulary in here. I find with vocabulary, if you think back to last week where we watched some of Anita Archer, she chooses like 3 to 4 words that we're really going to target on that day. So I have done that here, and I'm going to put them up on the board for you so you can remember what they are. Here is our first word. Okay, this word is absolutely. Absolutely. Would you say that with me?
Absolutely.
Absolutely means totally, completely, beyond any doubt. You are absolutely sure of something. So I'm going to say some sentences, and then I'm going to come back and you're going to fill in the blank for absolutely. When I drop my hands like this, that's when you're going to say that word. So you could come up to someone and I could say, that answer you gave, you were absolutely right. That means she's completely right. Or, oh my goodness, let's say Brittany's here. And I say, Brittany, I absolutely love your glasses. Do I like Brittany's glasses? Yes. So then I know that completely, beyond a doubt, I like that. Okay. So if something is completely impossible to do, it's absolutely impossible. Exactly. And, oh, I go out for dinner, and they serve me this dessert, and it's all chocolatey, and I love chocolate desserts, and I'm like, that food was so delicious. It was absolutely delicious. And then, oh, like we did in our morning meeting, we couldn't say a word as you lined up. We were completely quiet. We were absolutely quiet. Exactly. Would you turn to the person next to you and would you use the word absolutely in a sentence? Go ahead.
You are absolutely excited.
Absolutely ready for the semester. Do the one. You're absolutely gorgeous. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'll bring you back together. Tell me one sentence that you thought was absolutely wonderful. Go ahead.
I am absolutely excited for the semester to be over.
Oh, me too. Who else is absolutely excited for the semester to be over? Okay, good. Well, we have another word here. This word is wilted. What word?
Wilted.
So this is the past tense, and I know that because I have the ed ending here, of wilt. And if you wilt, you become limp because of heat or loss of water. You droop, you lose your energy and your vigor. So synonyms might be to sag, to flop over, to wither, to droop, all those things. So if I said the flowers had wilted by the time the party was over, how did they look?
Droopy.
Yeah, droopy, like they're not looking good anymore. I could say I'm wilting in this heat. I'm just so hot. It's kind of like sagging. My energy is all drained. So if the hot weather made the plants droop, we could say the hot weather wilted the plants. Exactly. And if we said the crowd gave in under pressure, we could say the crowd wilted under pressure. Exactly. And oh, this happens to me all the time. I went to the refrigerator and I opened the vegetable drawer, and the vegetables that I thought were going to be fresh were not fresh. Instead, they were wilted. Exactly. And one time I bought some roses, And the roses started to droop the day after I bought them. The roses wilted the day after I bought them. Would you think of something that could wilt in your mind? And we're going to do a whip around. Think in your mind something that could wilt. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready. It can be something that I used an example of my sentences, if you want. And you're thinking, even if somebody else says the same thing you want to say, you're still going to say it. We're going to go all the way around. We're going to start right here. You ready? Okay, something that wilted.
Lettuce. Flowers.
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 Spinach.
Tomatoes. Flowers.
Plants.
Sunflowers.
Hydrangeas.
Lettuce.
Apple.
Paper straws.
Basil.
Flowers. Flowers. Roses.
Oh, fabulous. I have to say, paper straws is one I've not heard yet, and I like that. Can you picture that in your mind? Like the paper straw gets all wet and it kind of, starts to crumble. Oh, I do not like that either. Good examples for wilted. Okay, we have one more word. Okay. Oh, this word is dreadful. What word?
Dreadful.
Dread, and then we have that suffix full on the end. So we are full of dread. Oh boy, you do not want to feel that something is dreadful, because that means it is causing or involving great suffering or fear or unhappiness, or it's extremely bad or serious. I try to keep all dreadful things out of this class. Okay, so synonyms might be awful, terrible, horrible. Those are all words that mean the same thing as dreadful. So I could say there's been a dreadful accident. That means it's a terrible accident. Or I could say that being in that hurricane, that storm, was a dreadful experience. It was just terrible. You're going to fill in the blank now with some of these dreadful things. So if he received really terrible news about health in his family, we would say it was dreadful news. Exactly. If I went to a restaurant and the food was so bad I couldn't even finish it, it was dreadful food. Exactly. And if the movie was so bad I had to leave, it was a dreadful movie. Would you turn to the person next to you, tell them a sentence where you use the word dreadful? Go ahead.
Bad grades, I was dreadful.
Bad grades, I was dreadful.
You were dreadful.
Give me a thumbs up when you're done. Excellent. I heard some dreadfully good words there. Okay, we're going to read a book that has these three words in them. Let's say them one more time together.
Absolutely, wilted, and dreadful.
And every time you hear those words, you know what we're going to do. We're going to say stop, and then whatever word you hear. Now, I'm not going to really stop. I'm going to keep reading, but this is a clue to me that you're listening for those words. Some of them are used more than once in this book, so you're going to have to keep listening for those words. Chrysanthemum. The day she was born was the happiest day in her parents' lives. She's perfect, said her mother. Absolutely.
Stop. Absolutely.
And she was absolutely.
Stop. Absolutely.
Oh, good. You got this. Don't forget to put your hand up there, too. Okay. Her name must be everything she is, said her mother. Her name must be absolutely perfect.
Stop. Absolutely.
And it was Chrysanthemum. Her parents named her Chrysanthemum, and Chrysanthemum grew and grew and grew. And when she was old enough to appreciate it, Chrysanthemum loved her name. She loved the way it sounded when her mother woke up. She loved the way it sounded when her father called for dinner, and she loved the way it sounded when she whispered it to herself in the bathroom mirror. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum loved the way her name looked when it was written with ink on an envelope. She loved the way it looked when it was written with icing on her birthday cake, and she loved the way it looked when she wrote it herself with her fat orange crayon. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum thought her name was
Stop. Absolutely.
And then she started school. On the first day, Chrysanthemum wore her sunniest dress and her brightest smiles. She ran all the way. Hooray, said Chrysanthemum. School. But when Mrs. Chudd took roll call, everyone giggled upon hearing Chrysanthemum's name. It's too long, said Joe. It scarcely fits on your name tag, said Rita, pointing. I'm named after my grandmother, said Victoria. You're named after a flower. Chrysanthemum wilted.
Stop. Wilted.
She did not think her name was absolutely
Stop. Absolutely.
She thought it was absolutely
Stop. Absolutely.
dreadful.
Stop. Dreadful.
The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and informed Mrs. Judd that Chrysanthemum's name was spelled with 13 letters. That's exactly half as many letters as they are in the entire alphabet, Victoria explained. Thank you for sharing with us, Victoria, said Mrs. Judd. Now put your head down. If I had a name like yours, Victoria said as the students lined up to go home, I'd change it. I wish I could, thought Chrysanthemum miserably. Welcome home, said her mother. Welcome home, said her father. School is no place for me, said Chrysanthemum. My name is too long. It scarcely fits on my name tag, and I'm named after a flower. Oh, pish, said her mother. Your name is beautiful and precious and priceless and fascinating and winsome, said her father. It's everything you are, said her mother. Absolutely.
Stop. Absolutely.
Perfect, said her father. Chrysanthemum felt much better after her favorite dinner, macaroni and cheese with ketchup, and an evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that her name was Jane. It was an extremely pleasant dream. Next morning, Chrysanthemum wore her most comfortable jumper. She walked to school as slowly as she could. She dragged her feet in the dirt. Chrysanthemum, 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 she wrote. She even looks like a flower, said Victoria as Chrysanthemum entered the playground. Let's pick her, said Rita, pointing. Let's smell her, said Joe. Chrysanthemum wilted.
Stop. Wilted.
She did not think her name was absolutely
Stop. Absolutely.
She thought it was absolutely
Stop. Absolutely.
dreadful.
Stop. Dreadful.
The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and said, a chrysanthemum is a flower. It lives in a garden with worms and other dirty things. Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria, said Mrs. Judd. Now put your head down. I just cannot believe your name, Victoria said as the students lined up to go home. Neither can I, thought Chrysanthemum miserably. Welcome home, said her mother. Welcome home, said her father. School is no place for me, said Chrysanthemum. They said I even look like a flower. They pretended to pick me and smell me. Oh, pish, said her mother. They're just jealous and envious and begrudging and discontented and jaundiced, said her father. Who wouldn't be jealous of a name like yours, said her mother. After all, it's absolutely.
Stop. Absolutely.
Said her father. Chrysanthemum felt a trifle better after her favorite dessert, chocolate cake with buttercream frosting, and another evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that she really was a chrysanthemum. She sprouted leaves and petals. Victoria picked her and plucked the leaves and petals one by one until there was nothing left but a scrawny stem. It was the worst nightmare of Chrysanthemum's life. Chrysanthemum wore her outfit with 7 pockets the next morning. She loaded the pockets with her most prized possessions and her good luck charms. Chrysanthemum took the longest route possible to school. She stopped and stared at each other and every flower. Chrysanthemum, 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 the flowers seemed to say. That morning, the students were introduced to Mrs. Twinkle, the music teacher. Her voice was like something out of a dream, and it was everything, as was everything else about her. The children were speechless. They thought Mrs. Twinkle was an indescribable wonder. They went out of their way to make a nice impression. Mrs. Twinkle led the student in scales. Then she assigned roles for the class musicale. Victoria was chosen as the dainty fairy queen. Rita was chosen as the spiffy butterfly princess. Jo was chosen as the all-important pixie messenger. And Chrysanthemum was chosen as the daisy. Chrysanthemum's a daisy, chrysanthemum's a daisy. Jo, Rita, and Victoria chanted, thinking it was wildly funny. Chrysanthemum wilted.
Stop. Wilted.
She did not think her name was absolutely perfect.
Stop. Absolutely.
She thought it was absolutely.
Stop. Absolutely.
Dreadful.
Stop. Dreadful.
What's so humorous? Asked Mrs. Twinkle. Chrysanthemum was the answer. Her name is so long, said Jo. It scarcely fits on her name tag, said Rita, pointing. I'm named after my grandmother, said Victoria. She's named after a flower. My name is long, said Mrs. Twinkle. It is, said Jo. My name would scarcely fit on a name tag, said Mrs. Twinkle. It would, said Rita, pointing. And, said Mrs. Twinkle, I'm named after a flower, too. You are, said Victoria. Yes, said Mrs. Twinkle. My name is Delphinium. Delphinium Twinkle. And if my baby is a girl, I'm considering Chrysanthemum as a name. I think it's absolutely.
Stop. Absolutely.
Perfect. Chrysanthemum could scarcely believe her ears. She blushed, she beamed, she bloomed. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Jo, Rita, and Victoria looked at Chrysanthemum longingly. Call me Marigold, said Jo. I'm Carnation, said Rita, pointing. My name is Lily of the Valley, said Victoria. Chrysanthemum did not think her name was absolutely perfect.
Stop. Absolutely.
She knew it. Overall, the class musicale was a huge success. Chrysanthemum was perfect as a daisy. Victoria only made one mistake. She completely forgot her lines as the dainty fairy queen. Chrysanthemum thought it was wildly funny, and she giggled throughout the entire dance of the flowers. Eventually, Mrs. Twinkle gave birth to a healthy baby girl, and of course, she named her Chrysanthemum. Isn't that a sweet book? What a nice book to read at the beginning of school, too. And it's your school year starting, and you could kick off the year with teaching your students how to respond when you do your hand drop, how to do your whip around, your turn and talk. You have a lot of skills that you're embedding in the one lesson. Okay, I'm going to say a few sentences now, and you are going to show me which word you would put in the blank. So let me see here. I should have a dry erase marker. Yes, dry erase. Absolutely is going to be word number 1. Wilted is word number 2. My marker is fading, and dreadful is word number 3. So you are going to listen to the sentence that I say, and then on the desk in front of you, you're going to put one finger if you think absolutely is the word that fills in the blank, 2 fingers down if it's wilted, and 3 fingers down if it's dreadful. Now the nice thing about this is your students can't look around as easily and see people holding up fingers and then just copy them. But I, as the teacher, can sort of glance around my classroom and see if you're putting the right number out. Okay, so let's see. The hot weather did this to the plants. The hot weather other? Yes, I see 2 fingers, wilted the plants. Excellent. How about, oh, she was wearing this kind of outfit and she just looked so uncomfortable in it. It was a something outfit. The number of fingers. Yes, it was a dreadful outfit, so uncomfortable. And you just got both of those questions right. You were blank right. You were absolutely right. Nice job, everyone. You did great pretending to be first graders. Okay.